Learning English Podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Learning English Podcast. I'm Sam.
And I'm Lily. If you're looking for a fun and effective way to improve your English, you've come to the right place.
That's right. Today, we're going to talk about daily routines, what we do in the morning, afternoon, and evening, and how you can use natural English phrases and phrasal verbs to describe your own daily routine.
And as always, we've prepared a free PDF guide for you, filled with essential vocabulary, useful phrases, and examples to help you speak more fluently.
So don't forget to download it in the description and, of course, like, subscribe, and share this episode with your friends who are also learning English.
All right, let's get started with our morning routine.
So, Lily, let's start with the morning. What's the first thing you do when you wake up?
Well, as soon as my alarm goes off, I usually hit the snooze button once or twice before I actually get out of bed. I'm not really a morning person. How about you?
Oh, I totally understand. But I try not to sleep in too much. I wake up around 7 a.m., and the first thing I do is stretch and get out of bed right away. Otherwise, I might fall back asleep.
That's smart. I really need to work on that habit. So after you get up, what's next?
Well, I freshen up, which means I wash my face, brush my teeth, and take a shower.
Right. And after that, do you eat breakfast immediately?
Not always. Sometimes I make my bed first, and then I head to the kitchen to grab some food.
Same here. I usually start my morning with a glass of warm lemon water. It's supposed to be good for digestion. Then I'll either have a light breakfast like toast and coffee, or a heavier one if I'm really hungry.
Oh, that sounds great. I love a good breakfast. On weekdays, I usually have something quick like cereal or oatmeal, but on weekends, I take my time and make eggs and toast.
That sounds delicious. Now, let's talk about getting ready for the day.
Right. After breakfast, I get dressed and get ready for work.
And don't forget commuting. A lot of people have to catch the bus, drive to work, or take the subway.
That's true. I usually drive to work, but sometimes I carpool with a friend.
And if you work from home, your routine might be a little different. You might log into your computer and check your emails first thing in the morning.
Exactly. All right, now that we've covered morning routines, let's move on to what happens in the afternoon.
So, let's talk about the afternoon. What does a typical afternoon look like for you, Sam?
Well, if I'm at work, I usually have a lunch break around noon. I try to eat something healthy, but sometimes I just grab a quick bite if I'm busy.
Yeah, lunch breaks can be short. Some people bring a packed lunch, while others prefer to eat out at a nearby cafe.
What about you? What do you usually do in the afternoon?
Well, if it's a work day, I'm usually busy with meetings, replying to emails and finishing tasks. But if it's a weekend, I might run errands, like buy groceries or pick up dry cleaning.
Errands. Those little tasks that take up time but are necessary. I usually go grocery shopping on weekends, but sometimes I run to the store during my lunch break.
That's a great way to save time. Now, let's talk about something fun. Afternoon coffee or tea breaks.
Oh, yes. Around 3 or 4 p.m., I take a short break and grab a cup of coffee. It helps me stay awake and focused.
Same here. I also like to step outside for fresh air if I have the chance. A little sunlight can be a great mood booster.
Definitely. And if you're a student, the afternoon might be time for classes, studying, or doing homework.
Right? And some people hit the gym in the afternoon before heading home.
Yeah, I've been trying to work out in the afternoons, but sometimes I'm too tired. I know what you mean. All right, now let's move on to the evening routine. After finishing work or school, how do you usually spend your evenings, Lily?
Well, when I get home, the first thing I do is change into comfortable clothes. Nothing feels better than taking off work clothes and putting on sweatpants and a cozy sweater.
Oh, I totally agree. As soon as I get home, I like to unwind for a bit, maybe by scrolling through social media or watching a few YouTube videos before I start making dinner.
That's a nice way to relax. I usually grab a snack first and then decide what to cook. Sometimes I make a full homemade meal, but if I'm too tired, I just order takeout.
Same here. Cooking every day can be tiring, so sometimes I just heat up leftovers from the day before.
Oh, good idea. But if I have time, I actually enjoy trying new recipes. Lately, I've been experimenting with different pasta dishes.
That sounds delicious. I'm more of a simple cook. I just throw things together and hope for the best.
Haha, as long as it tastes good, right? So, after dinner, what do you usually do?
Well, if I have extra work, I might finish up some emails or plan for the next day. But on a more relaxing day, I like to watch a TV series, read a book, or listen to a podcast.
Oh, me too. Sometimes I just binge watch a show on Netflix if I have the time.
Binge watching. Watching multiple episodes in one go. I do that too, especially on weekends.
Same. But on weekdays, I try to be productive. If I don't have work, I might go for a walk or even meet up with friends for dinner.
That's nice. Socializing is important. Some people also go to the gym in the evening if they didn't have time in the afternoon.
Yeah. I know a lot of people who hit the gym after work because it helps them de-stress.
That makes sense. I personally prefer evening walks. It's a great way to clear my mind after a long day.
That sounds relaxing. Okay, so after all that, we're finally getting ready for bedtime. Let's talk about our nighttime routine.
Now, let's talk about the last part of the day, the nighttime routine. Lily, are you someone who sleeps early, or do you stay up late?
Oh, I'm definitely a night owl. I always stay up late, either watching videos, reading, or just lying in bed scrolling through my phone.
I think many people can relate to that. But I try my best to stick to a bedtime routine so I can sleep early.
That's good. What do you do before bed?
First, I take a shower. It helps me relax and unwind after a long day. Then, I brush my teeth, wash my face, and put on my pajamas.
Oh, that's a good routine. I do something similar. After brushing my teeth and washing my face, I like to do some skincare. Just a simple routine with moisturizer and lip balm before bed.
That's nice. Taking care of your skin is important. After that, do you go straight to sleep?
Not right away. I usually spend at least 30 minutes winding down. Sometimes I read a book. Sometimes I listen to soft music.
That's a great way to relax before bed. A lot of people also meditate or write in a journal before sleeping.
Yeah, journaling is a great way to reflect on your day. Do you do that?
Sometimes. But most of the time, I just set my alarm, turn off the lights, and try to fall asleep quickly.
That's smart. But what about people who have trouble sleeping?
Good question. If you have insomnia, you can try drinking herbal tea, reading a book, or even doing breathing exercises to help you relax.
Oh, I've heard that reducing screen time before bed also helps. Looking at your phone before sleeping can make it harder to fall asleep.
That's true. So if you struggle with sleep, maybe try putting your phone away at least 30 minutes before bed.
Yeah. And another tip, having a consistent sleep schedule helps. Try to go to bed and wake up at the same time every day.
Great advice. All right, now that we've covered morning, afternoon, evening, and nighttime routines, let's wrap up this episode.
All right. Before we wrap up this episode, let's do a quick review of what we've talked about today.
Yes. Today we walked through an entire daily routine in English, starting from the moment we wake up until we go to bed.
We covered morning habits like waking up, freshening up, and eating breakfast.
Then, afternoon activities like lunch breaks, working, running errands, and grabbing a coffee.
Followed by evening routines like cooking, watching TV, going to the gym, or hanging out with friends.
And finally, we ended with nighttime routines like skincare, journaling, reading, and preparing for sleep.
And along the way, we introduced so many useful English phrases and phrasal verbs that you can start using right now.
Exactly. Now, here's a challenge for you, our listeners. Try describing your daily routine in English, even if it's just a few sentences.
That's a great idea. You can say it out loud, write it in a journal, or even record yourself speaking.
And if you want to take it a step further, try to use the phrasal verbs we mentioned today. Instead of just saying, I wake up, say, I wake up and hit the snooze button, or I freshen up before breakfast.
Yes. Small changes like that can make your English sound more natural and fluent.
And don't worry if you make mistakes. That's totally normal. The important thing is to practice consistently.
Exactly. The more you practice talking about your daily routine, the easier and more natural it will feel.
All right, before we say goodbye, we have some important reminders for you.
First of all, if you found this episode helpful, make sure to download our free PDF guide in the description.
It includes everything we covered today, all the key vocabulary, phrasal verbs, and example sentences to help you review and practice on your own.
And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode.
Yes. And if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, make sure to follow us and leave a rating. It really helps us reach more English learners like you.
Also, we'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and tell us, what's your daily routine like? Which new words or phrases did you learn today?
Yes. Reading your comments helps us understand what you're learning and what topics you'd like us to cover next.
And of course, share this episode with your friends who are also learning English. The more we practice together, the faster we improve.
All right, that's all for today. Thank you for spending your time with us.
Keep practicing, keep learning, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye for now.
So that's it for today's episode. We've covered a lot: morning routines, afternoon activities, evening relaxation, and bedtime habits.
And we shared tons of useful English phrases and phrasal verbs that you can use to describe your own daily routine.
Remember, we've put everything together in a free PDF guide, so make sure to download it in the description.
And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this episode with your friends who are also learning English.
Thanks for joining us today. We'll see you in the next episode.
Until then, keep practicing and have a great day.